Cruise news time. And well, we've got parents angry out there over a surprise kids change. We also have major updates from Royal Caribbean International Carnival Cruise Line. And I got to tell you about a group of passengers that were booted from their cruise to make room for other people. That's an interesting thing to happen. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face on Sunday, December the 17th, 2023. And man, I've been home almost, a full week from my cruise, and I'm still sick, and I'm not loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm not loving it. Let's process through some cruise news. I did see Wonka last night. I'll give you my thoughts on that if I can get through this. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I should edit that out. Cruise news story number one. Disney Cruise Line has made what's seemingly an insignificant change to their kids club policies, but apparently to some parents it is significant. Disney Cruise Line announcing that on December the 21st, the ages for the kids club will be different. Starting next week, Disney's Oceaneer Club and Disney's Oceaneer Lab will now accommodate children from the ages of 3 to 10. This was a change. It used to go from 3 to 12. The Edge Kids program, Kids Club on the Disney cruise ships, will now accommodate 11-year-olds to 14-year-olds. The Vibe Kids experience will be for children 14 to 17 years old. Now, look, I don't have a dog in this hunt. All my kids are in their 20s and 30s, and we're just waiting on some grandbabies. But apparently, this is a big change, especially for people that have kids that are 11 and 12 years old. Some are feeling that maybe this is too soon to commingle 11 and 12-year-olds with 13 and 14-year-olds. And there's some people out there on social media upset about it. I don't know. I just thought I would tell you guys the change in case you're cruising on Disney so that you know you might have to make different accommodations for your kids. And to throw the question over to you, is it a big deal? Should 11 and 12-year-olds be with the 3 to 10-year-olds? Or does it make sense for 11 and 12-year-olds, the preteens, to be with the 13 and 14-year-olds? Anybody that's raised kids know that kids change drastically during that 11 to 14 or 15-year-old period. They go from being sweet little babies to crazy maniacs. No, I'm just kidding. It could happen. It may have happened. Not every kid, but man, when the hormones hit you, it's you never know what you're going to get. It's like, yeah, you never know what you're going to get. But anyways, what do you think? Big deal, not a big deal? Leave a comment below. Cruise news story number two coming from Royal Caribbean International. They've completed a major smoking change. They've completed this activity where they've converted all of the jazz clubs on their Oasis class cruise ships, converted them into non-smoking casino spaces. It's a bittersweet change for me. I do like non-smoking casino environments, but I did really like those Jazz on 4 clubs, about 2,500 square feet worth of real estate that they're playing with there. There's no bar inside of the non-smoking portion, but there will be roaming servers. But I think, this is a great change because I know there's a lot of people that sometimes avoid the casino because of the smoke. And now, at least on these, Oasis class cruise ships, you'll have someplace to go and enjoy a non-smoking casino. Wonder of the Seas is, I think, already half and half, if I remember that correctly. They use these interesting ionizers built into the pillars. I don't know what the technology is, but it is fascinating because seemingly there's no barrier between the smoke and the non-smoke, but these ionizers, they work really well that it does seem like there is. It's magic. But yeah, there you go. No more Jazz on 4, but non-smoking casinos. Are you happy about this change? Are you ready to? I learned a new crap strategy yesterday. I've been avoiding the casino on some level. Big thing that happened here in Florida, phase 3 of whatever the gambling thing is here. There's now legit full-on craps tables at the casino 45 minutes from the house. That's, talk about being tempted by the fruit of another. Yowza. Cruise news story number 3. We talked yesterday about all the disruption that's happening because of bad weather here in Florida. There was a lot of comments yesterday talking about other cruise lines, Norwegian, Virgin Voyages, MSC, having challenges down in the South Florida area. Then on top of that, we have a report coming in today that, the Carnival Freedom, they've essentially given up all hope when it comes to going to any of their ports. They left Port Canaveral on Thursday for a 4-day journey. And yeah, it's cruised to nowhere. All the weather has canceled all their ports of call. And so we've got people that just got to enjoy the ship on the Carnival Freedom in bad weather, and they should be getting home soon. But yeah, it's a weird time. Like, we're not usually talking about bad weather in December. Hurricane season's the adjacent months, June, July, August, September, October, November. So we're beyond the official hurricane season. And these aren't hurricanes that we're dealing with, but yeah, bad weather plaguing the cruises in the Caribbean in December. Merry Christmas. How about that? Cruise news story number 4, the Carnival Panorama is getting close to returning back into service on December the 23rd. You may have been tracking along with this for the last, I think it's about 6 weeks. They've been dealing with an aziapod issue, and they had to do all kinds of things to get it fixed. They had to send it up a river to get it to a dry dock where they could get it fixed. And part of that process was to remove part of the cruise ship so that it could go under a bridge, and they removed the iconic whale tail funnel. Well, you'll be happy to know that their head covering has returned. They have returned the whale tail funnel to the Panorama as she continues to make her way out of this river over there on the West Coast and eventually down to Long Beach to kick off her sailings again on December the 23rd. Cruise news, a story number 5, just a quickie. We have another cruise ship making an appearance in Galveston, Texas. This time it is one of the newer Norwegian cruise ships. The NCL Prima is set to home port out of Galveston for the rest of the year and into next year. The cruise ships continue to pile up in Galveston. This is going to be another great choice for cruisers there in Texas. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of great places to cruise to out of Texas other than the Western Caribbean or if you go on a longer cruise, but it is nice to see the cruise ship options there. Another thing that's happened recently with the new NCL ships is that the Viva has made its way to its home port in Puerto Rico, but the Viva will come to Galveston for a winter season next year, 2024 to 2025. So NCL taking the new hardware, moving it to the places. This is good for NCL fans. I haven't been on the Viva yet. I'd like to get on it. Have you been on the Viva or the Prima? Do you like those cruise ships? Leave a comment below. Now, we got to get to this somewhat annoying story to me about these cruisers that got booted off of their cruise, like I said, for what I feel like is an annoying reason. But first, let's do a couple things. First, I'd like to invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, well, I'm your man. If you want to stay up to date with all the cruise news and just all the drama that goes on in cruising, I'm here for it. Please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. We're trying to get to our next milestone, 250,000 subscribers. That's mind-blowing in its own right. Would love for you to be a part of that number. And then the big goal, the stretch goal, 18 million. Can we do it? Maybe it's a pipe dream, but it's my pipe dream, and I'm loving it. So please consider subscribing. And the second thing I want to do before we get back to the cruise news, I want to tell you that I took many of your recommendations last night, and I went to see Wonka. I went with my daughter, Danielle, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Now, I'm musically inclined. It was a musical, and I smiled through basically the whole movie. There was enough callbacks to the 1971 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie that made me smile. But then it was a great, I like the movie. It's a good kids movie. Let me put it like that. It's not like this, intrigue action movie. It's a good kids. It's like a caper movie. It really reminded me of the 1982 Annie musical. Like a lot of those elements, the caper elements, the good versus evil, the, dreaming for a better thing. It was good. I thought it was great. And if you are into musicals, if you have any affinity, I think, for that 1971, it's a whole new story. They're, loosely tied together with associative things. But I smiled the whole way. I thumbs up for Wonka. There's still some movies when I was at the theater, I was like, oh, Godzilla -1, I got to see that. And then somebody recommended The Maestro, which is the Leonard Bernstein biopic. There's a lot of movies to see out there, but Wonka. There you go. All right, are you ready to be annoyed? This is kind of a sad story. Guests that are booked on the Allure of the Seas in April of 2024, just a 3-day cruise, got notified that their cruise had been canceled because they sold their cruise to a charter. They chartered out their cruise. So everybody that had a cruise booked on the Allure, they wiped those books clean because the people that booked the whole ship, they get the priority. Unfortunately, it happens. Royal, of course, is being really nice to these folks, giving them good compensation, all that kind of thing. But to me, that's probably the most annoying way for a cruise to be canceled. Nothing that you did, nothing that you caused. All of a sudden, your cruise got sold to somebody else. I don't know. What do you think the most annoying cancellation for cruises is? Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Thank you so much for watching the episode today. If you enjoyed it, if you could, please hit that thumbs up button. We'll be back here tomorrow to do it again. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.